All right, today's Saturday, let's see, July 19th. And this is, so now I'm in my 12th day of fasting. I haven't eaten any food for 12 days. I'm in my 12th day. For the last, I'd say, at least I've been checking, at least for 3 days, my scale, all right? And I haven't dropped a pound. And I haven't eaten for 3 days. I mean, since I've been checking my scale, I haven't eaten for 12 days. All right. I drank a couple of quarts of V8, but that has no calories. And I've drank a few beers, and right now I have one. I'm going to open it up and drink it, just to prove a point. After I launch this video that I have in the back here from, it's just a short from Moonstruck, but I repositioned my chair and did my best to try to get my TV in the screen and everything, coordinated so I could do this without YouTube, because I see that they put, like, sometimes when I upload something they'll put copyright on there, and I just don't want them to blank out the video portion of my video here, because I'm using this short as an object lesson for what I want to talk about, and I don't want them to blank it out. So what I'm doing is I'm going to play it, but I'm still going to be in the picture. It's just going to be in the background, see? So, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what the rules are. But I'm going to open this up right now. Hey, take a drink. Because I know beer has calories in it. And that's why when I moved from Virginia, it wasn't intentional, but when I wasn't able to go to the Legends Brewery in Richmond, Virginia, after we kayaked every day or rock climbed or whatever, that was like the watering hole. And so there's somebody I knew used to call it the watering hole. I used to work with him. But the watering hole. But when I came here, I can give some more stories about, like, I did get a keg one time and bring it back from Legends Brewery. I got the keg of IPA from Legends Brewery because they don't have Legends IPA here, and I brought a whole keg back with me. But this girl I was with, she was helping me train Charlie. She ended up like drinking it, a lot of it. Like, I couldn't take her away. And it reminded me of that song, something about a woman, a guy singing a song. I can't remember the woman's name now, but don't let me catch you around that still, or something like that. But anyway, that's a side point. Anyway, this whole thing right here is a side point. But again, we got back on track here. I drank some coffee. I drank actually some cold coffee yesterday, and it caused me, because now it's like going on 5 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't go to sleep last night because I don't know. I drank the coffee and I ain't got no food in my stomach, and it had more of an impact on me than unexpectedly. I couldn't sleep. I didn't try to go to sleep or anything because I wasn't even at all tired because I drank the coffee. But the night before last, I was dreaming and I was here on this property, but there was another, and it seemed like I knew this woman, Amanda Boyd. I was the power of attorney for Steve Marshall's dad, Bill Marshall, and because he was going blind, and he had lost his memory, and he forgot to take his glaucoma medicine, and then it made him start going blind. So people were taking advantage of him and stuff, and that's when I stepped in. But when Steve wanted his dad to go live with his uncle, because Bill's brother also lived with Steve's uncle, because that guy was, Steve's uncle's father. Okay, so Bill moved in with his brother, and under the supervision of his nephew. Bill moved in with his nephew, and when that happened, then what I did for them is I managed the property, and so eventually there was a woman that moved into the house there, and her name was Amanda Boyd, is what I recall. I'm pretty sure her last name was Boyd. I know her name was Amanda. And what I used to do with her was she was interested in, I think she was interested in pursuing, like, psychological work, like, because for some reason, what I started doing with her was I would come over, for a visit. I'd go over there, and visit and everything. And so what I did with her, though, is we devised this kind of situation. I would come over there as a patient of hers, and she would pretend that she was a counselor. So it was like role playing, and I would be the patient, she would be the counselor. And I gave her, some of my old books and everything to read stuff in and everything like that, learn about stuff. And she would act like a psychotherapist or a counselor, and I would go over there and present like a case problem, and then I would role play, and we'd have a talk. And it wasn't like I wasn't saying anything that was actually like real about myself. I was role playing, and she was getting experience counseling, and I thought it was pretty fun, a pretty cool idea. But anyway, I forget what I brought that up for. Huh. Well, I don't remember what I brought that up for, but that's strange. But the thing is that okay, let's go back to my dream. I had this dream, Oh yeah, because she was in the dream. She's in my dream. And some people were wanting to get married. A couple, this guy and this girl wanted to get married, and it was here at my house. And Amanda was here, and I asked her. I said, the girl needs a. I think she needed a bridesmaid, So Amanda would step in. I asked her, "You want to step in, as the bridesmaid?" And it was in my dream, and so that's why I thought of Amanda, because it seemed like it was she didn't look exactly like Amanda, but that's who she reminded me of. I think in my dream, I think she was Amanda. But so then when I woke up from that dream, I started thinking about love, and then I started thinking about, my grandchildren, you. And even, I thought about my nephews, but, like all my nephews and my kids, they already got their own kids. I mean, like my youngest boy, I believe he's like at least 30. I'm pretty sure of it. Like I think he was born in 19. Let's see. Early 90s. I mean, and I was 25. So, it's 25 years right there from the year 2000. And I'm pretty sure he was born in the late 90s. Like, 98, maybe. I'm not sure. But I think somewhere around there. And, you know, I know my other son, Adam, I think he was born in 88, and I think, pretty sure it was 88. Well, yeah, 88. It's hard for me to remember all that stuff. I mean, we're talking a long time ago. And, you know, I'm really never been really good on clock and time and stuff, you know. You know, but anyway, so basically I'm trying to talk to my grandkids, and if my nephews have grandkids. I mean, you know, sometimes families spread apart, you know, and lose track of each other. But anyway, so I was thinking in terms, you know, of maybe if I might be able to say something beneficial for my grandchildren, you know. And so this is what it is. I couldn't help but when I started thinking about love, the first thing I thought about is you know, Adam and Amber's mom, and her grandfather, because there's never been a person that I've known in my life that seemed to love his wife more than Salvatore Michelli. All right. And Salvatore Michelli was a violin player. And I mean, you can't like get any closer to love than the violin, because Cupid, I don't know if that's a god of love or the angel of love or whatever, but on Valentine's Day, you got Cupid, okay? And you always got the violins, and the violins are the music of love. And Sal played the violin. And he could make a violin talk like a horse. No, he's the best violinist in Sicily. And he's from Sicily. And I venture to say best violinist in all of Italy. All right, that good. Well, his wife, Adrian's grandmother, I showed you the picture of her grandmother. She died after having heart surgery of infection, staph infection, and that's when he lost her. And he could never, if he ever even talked about her, he would immediately break down in tears, you know. And he never talked about her in an abstract way, or an objective way, or a distant way. You see? And so he made a big mark on me, you know, a big impression. I mean, I don't know for what it would be worth or anything, but the mark means something to me, okay? And since you know, Adrian came from an Italian family, Sal and her grandmother, both Italian, Sicilians, Italian, and her real dad, I mean, his last name was Culp, actually. Her real dad was also Italian, because her mom lived in Italy and grew up there, see? And so, anyway, So I can't not think about love without first thinking about Salvatore Michelli. And then I can't not think about love without thinking about Italian. And then I can't think about love in Italian without thinking about the word amore. And then I can't not think about amore without thinking about Dean Martin's song Amore. And then I can't not think about Amore, the song Dean Martin sang, Amore, big pizza pie, that's amore, like that, you know. When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie, that's amore, okay, like that. And I can't not think about that song without thinking about the movie Moonstruck. Okay, because like a big pizza pie, the moon in the sky, like a big pizza pie. Pizza is famous for Italian. The moon, and then Moonstruck, and Cher and Nicolas Cage, and it's a great movie. So great, a matter of fact, that is where my dream led me to. Okay, as I was contemplating love, and I don't think that there's, in my mind right now, I can't think of a better kind of mythology that I could tell you, my grandchildren, about regarding love than Moonstruck, the movie with Nicolas Cage and Cher. And I just wanted to play this one short. It's called I'm Confused. That's okay, and because it just shows something at a deep level that's really hard to kind of dissect and just make a neat and tidy kind of message out of it, like this is what it means, okay? Because what it draws my attention to is, for example, what you call the principle of indirection. And the principle of indirection is you get something by not trying to get it. And this comes from Kabbalah. Okay? Kabbalah, they talk about this. Like, I can't remember exactly where, but I remember, and I can't remember exactly how they put it, but I know I learned about this from Kabbalah on one hand, and from my chaplain when I was in the Navy, who was an admiral. I don't know if he was a captain when I was in, but I know he became an admiral. All right, so I'll call him Admiral J.P. O'Connor. And I remember I used to talk to him, and he introduced me to the principle of indirection. All right. And that is that you get what you want by not trying to get it. And when you're a boy growing up or a girl growing up, you know, hey, Boomer, look, Boomer's trying to, hey, Boomer. When growing up, I just want to say that don't try too hard. Like, don't try too hard to get a woman or to get a man. And there's a principle: if you try too hard, it'll backfire on you. And a lot of times what happens is people try to win other people, and they try to do everything like that's going to make please the other person or something like that. And then what happens is, after they've been in a relationship for a while, one person leaves because it loses its magnetism. And so, see what it is. You can't try too hard, because you become too much like, if you lose yourself for the other person, that's definitely not the way to go. Never ever lose yourself for another person. And say, for example, a person, okay, say one person in the relationship is, you know, crying and stuff, you know, if you cry with them, then even though they might say that's what they want, that's not really what they want. They want somebody who's going to be strong and not cry with them. They don't want somebody getting down on their level. They want somebody that's, I don't know, kind of, maybe, I mean, that they can look up to, maybe, in some kind of way. You know, even though both people are equals, look, you always have, remember, it's the yin and the yin and the yang, okay? So the yin can never be the yang, and the yang can never be the yin. They can empathize with each other because there's a little bit of the yin in the yang, and there's a little bit of the yang in the yin. Enough that they can come together through magnetism and be together. But when you start like trying to be, if you're a yin, don't try to be a yang. And if you're a yang, don't try to be a yang, because it loses the magnetism, see? We need opposites. Opposites attract. That's one primary lesson right there. Opposites attract. So don't, try to, like be, like the other person that you're with or something. You need to maintain your own, as part of growing up, you differentiate yourself, and then you integrate. But after you integrate, after you got a solid differentiation, you're centered. You're centered in your own gender. You're centered in your own goals. You're centered in your own person. Hey, and you know how to function in the world. You don't need nobody. You don't need a partner. You don't need a spouse. Look, it's better. Even in Ecclesiastes says two are better than one. All right. Okay. Because if one breaks down, the other one can help them, like that, And we have, and that's a beautiful thing, But you see, this love story in here is really funny because, like, the one guy who's actually in the picture right now, he proposed to Cher, okay, and so they're going to get married, but but his mom is sick, and so and it's like this, like sometimes people, and this is actually true, it really happens. Sometimes people will like play a role in order to manipulate somebody else. So they might act sick in order to get like sympathy or something like that. Anyway, I can't really think of a lot. I can't really give example like too much right now because and also see, even in my discipline, even like in my talks, I'm not going to try too hard. Okay, like I'm not going to try to prove every point and stuff like that. I just want to be suggestive because and the way it worked with me, everybody's got to go through their own school of hard knocks, and everybody's got to struggle with everything in life. That's the structure that we've been given, and everybody got to go through it. And there ain't any formula that you can just follow that is going to make your life a bed of roses. And even if it is a bed of roses, there's going to be plenty of thorns, because you can't have a rose without a thorn. That's not the way it works. Behind every beautiful thing, there's been some kind of pain. And you're going to suffer pain. Just part of life. You're going to suffer abandonment. You're going to suffer betrayal. Hopefully it's not from a woman or a man. That does hurt. But, the pain that we experience in life makes us who we are. And it helps us. It helps us, like, it refines us. And it makes us better people. And, in my opinion, life is like a school. Like, who's that guy's name? Meister Eckhart. He's a Catholic guy, but he's like a mystic Catholic guy. You know, Catholics have mystics too. You know, and he's more like a mystic Catholic guy, and Meister Eckhart, and he made the statement. We not you know, he or we are not a human being having a spiritual experience. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. You know, I mean, get the perspective right. You know, we're not a human being having a spiritual experience. Some people might look at it that way, you know, but if you look at it like we're a spiritual being having a human experience, I think that's the better way to actually frame it. And so, you know, that came from him. Anyway, so, you know, I'm just gonna click this on real quick, and hey, so
Loretta?
There we go. They try to thing.
Ronnie. Have you come to make peace with me?
Yes. But I mean, I want to.
Oh, Ronnie, of course I want to.
But, Johnny, I mean, your mother was dying. How did she recover?
I told my mother we were to be married, and she got well right away.
I'm sure she did.
It was a miracle.
Oh,
Yeah.
Johnny, I have something that I have to tell you.
And I have something to tell you, but I must talk to you alone.
No, I need my family around me now.
Loretta, I can't marry you.
What?
If I marry you, my mother will die.
What the hell are you talking about? We're engaged.
Loretta, what are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about a promise, okay? He proposed.
Because my mother was dying, and now she's not.
Oh, Johnny, you're 42 years old. She's still running your life.
And you are a son who doesn't love his mother.
You are a big liar, okay? Because I have a ring right here.
Oh, I must ask for that back.
You know, all right, the engagement is off.
In time, you will see that this is the best thing.
In time, you'll drop dead, and I'll come to your funeral in a red dress.
Loretta,
What?
will you marry me?
What?
Where's the ring?
Johnny, can I borrow that ring? Thanks. Loretta Castorini, will you marry me?
Yes, Ronnie. In front of all these people, I'll marry you.
You love him, Loretta?
Ma, I love him awful.
Oh, God, that's too bad.
She loves me.
What's the matter, Pop? I'm confused.
So anyway, I hope they don't mess up my video because of that. But look, you know, I can't just tell you to like go watch it or anything. Anyway, it's from 1987. But you know, see how, I mean, you know, I just wanted to show that because, you know, like, to see how love works. Okay. And like, I can't like say everything about it, but like, if you watch that movie, and you know, might sometimes things take a while to settle in for a person like to kind of understand what the hidden message is. There's a hidden message in that movie, you know. And I just wanted to say that see, Nicolas Cage in one of it, when see, he got his hand chopped off. He's a baker, and he got his hand chopped off in an oven, and it was his brother's fault. Or something, you know. I think it was his brother's fault. But anyway, you know, and he you know, he fell in love with Cher, and she was engaged to his brother. And he has one point where he says, he's telling her, he's saying, trying to explain, he's telling her, I love you. And she's saying, you know, snap out of it and all like that, you know. And he's saying, you know, love is messy and love is ruins everything. See? And it takes us by surprise a lot of times. Sometimes it does. Most of the time it does. And the best practice, not to try too hard to get it. Because when you do that, things get screwed up. All right? That's all I wanted to say. Good luck. All right, bye.